just finished brewing our next coffee, which is the Cold Soul from Brazil. This is a cold wine yeast inoculation. And yeast inoculations are really cool experimental coffees. And I want to introduce somebody very special in the process, our head roaster, Alex. She's going to tell us a little bit about what this process is and how she approached the roast differently.
So, like he said, this is a yeast inoculated coffee, but when it's in the fermentation stage, you are adding yeast to it, which is going to help control the entire process. As far as how I approached this roast, I wanted to kind of take it different than most coffees that I use because it's, with the yeast inoculation, almost like a completely different product. So I was looking to kind of experiment with something closer to roasting cacao. So I basically went and developed the sugars. I drop it right after crack, which means it's going to be a much lighter coffee, but that's also why you're getting all of that velvet and smooth body.
So it like texturally this is so phenomenal, and coffees that I've had that are typically at this roast level tend to have like a vegetal, or they're like too sour or too bright, and I'm not getting, this is very soft, very velvety. We've tasted this coffee a couple times and it's this synesthesia of like purple velvet. It's just so texturally unique. I do get fruity notes on the back end, and as it cools down, it really becomes more and more complex and layered. So I do enjoy that very much. So Alex, can you tell me a little bit more about how this coffee came to be and how yeast inoculations are becoming a legitimate process in coffee?
Yeah, so yeast inoculation has been around for a little bit, but the scientific part of it is still pretty new. So the Brazilian coffee farm that we got this coffee from brought in Aida Batlle, who is one of the foremost specialists in yeast inoculation. She happens to be El Salvadorian and has done a lot of work with coffees around the world.
The producers of this coffee, they're named Flavia and Luis Saldana, both agronomists, both very into what they do. And what I think is really wonderful and unique about this coffee is that it's relatively a low elevation coffee, about 700 meters above sea level, 700 to 800. And usually coffees that are grown that low don't have a lot of complexity to them, but this is super layered, like very dynamic coffee, and has a lot of different characteristics to show throughout the experience of it cooling down and how one typically consumes a coffee at home.